Hello and welcome to Chapter 5, Section 4. This is all about the slope formula. We use m as the variable for slope. So our slope formula is change in y over change in x. The difference in y divided by the difference in x. We just learned this, and which point you put first doesn't matter, but they tend to write slope as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Don't know why, it doesn't make any difference, but this is our slope. This can tell us exactly what direction the line is going, starting at any point. So the first question it's going to ask us is to find the slope of the line that contains the points -4, 2 and -1, 2. So we are going to stick these 2 points into our formula. So we're going to plug our points in, and y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is going to give us 4 over -5, or -4/5. That's our slope. So really this is just plugging in the points and following the formula. The next thing it's going to ask us to do is be able to find the slope from graphs and tables. And the first thing they do is they show you a graph, and they show that you can find at least 2 points on this graph, and you're going to use them. And I'm not going to show you how to do what I just showed you how to do. You're going to pull 2 points out, you're going to put them in the formula. But they also show you charts, tables. And the first table they show you is where x is all the same. And so the change in x that we're going to get is 2 minus 2, which is 0. And that's going to be, it doesn't matter what you have on the top, 2 minus 2, you're going to get anything above a 0 is going to be undefined. So I don't like the fact that they use this as their example. So we're going to go with something from the practice problems, from the homework. Here you've got your x's and your y's. You're going to pull 2 points off of it. And again, we're just going to plug them into the formula. Change in y over change in x. And that's going to give us 20 over 2, which is going to give us 10, and that's our slope. And that's it. For the first 2 pages of this section, if you could do check it out numbers 1 and 2 on pages 324 and 325, pause the video here and come back when you're done. So check it out number 1a, you're going to plug in change in y over change in x, and you're going to get 0 over 9, which is going to give you 0, a slope of 0. B, change in y over change in x is going to give you 3 and 1, which is a slope of 3. And then C gives you fractions. Change in y over change in x gives you -5/5 over -2/4, which is -1 over -1/2, and the negatives cancel each other out. And 1 divided by 1/2 is the same as 1. We're going to flip it and multiply 1 times 2, which is 2. 2a, we're going to pull 2 points off, stick it in our formula, and we have a slope of 1/2. 2b, the 2 points we pull give us a slope of -3. 2c, the 2 points I pulled out, give us a slope of 2. And 2d, the 2 points I pulled out, give us a slope of -3/2. Any 2 points you pull out should give you the same slope. Doesn't matter which points you pull. What I really want you to notice, though, is that if you have a positive slope, your line is going to go up as you travel right, and a negative slope, your line is going to travel down. Please keep that in mind. The next thing they're going to ask you to do is apply this to real life. The graph shows how much water is in a reservoir at different times. Find the slope of the line and then tell what the slope represents. So the first thing we're going to do is find the slope. We're going to look at our 2 points, and we're going to go 3,000 minus 2,000 divided by 20 minus 60. So we have 1,000 over negative 40, which gives us negative 25. And is, what does this slope represent? Well, we've got a graph that tells time on the bottom and the depth of the water on the side. So this is the change in the depth of the water, TH, versus how long in hours the time went by. So negative 25 over 1 means that this is for every hour. So this is actually per hour. The water dropped 25 cubic feet. Negative change. Make sense? The next thing they're asking us to do is find a slope from an equation. So it gives us an equation in standard form, and it asks us to solve for the slope. Now we know how to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept, and that's going to give us 2 points. So we're going to count, this is 0 here and this is 0 here, and so we're going to divide each side by negative 5 and divide each of these sides by 6. So here y equals negative 6 and here x equals 5. So when y equals negative 6, that's because x equals 0. So our first point is 0, negative 6, and our next point is 5, 0 when y equals 0. Now that we have 2 points, we can stick that into our equation. M equals the change in y over the change in x. And I went this one first, so I have to do this one first, 0 minus 5. So that's going to be negative 6 over negative 5, which is 6 over 5. Our slope is 6/5. Try check it out numbers 3 and 4, both found on page 326. Pause the video here and come back when you've got those worked out. Check it out number 3. We've pulled the 2 points and we've gone through our slope. And then we need to tell what the slope represents. Now y equals the height and x equals the number of days that the plant was growing. And so for every 2 days, this one is days, for every 2 days, the plant is going to grow 1 centimeter. Check it out number 4. We have a standard form equation that we're going to solve when x equals 0 and when y equals 0. That gives us the points 0, 4 and 6, 0. And when we put that into our equation, we're going to end up with a slope of negative 2/3. And that's it for this section. Our homework for this section starts on page 328. We're going to do numbers 11 through 25. Please remember to ask any questions that you have, and I will see you next time. Thank you.